I picked up a $200 bag of nickels from my bank's coin machine. Let's hunt it and see what we can find. Well, I can't say roll number one, but this is handful number one. What I do is I put the nickels into two equal bins. So this is bin number one and handful number one, but we have our first find. It's going to be a 1941 out of Philly. Handful number seven, and we're going to have two finds. First is a 1948 with a scratch on it, out of Philly. And then I saw a 47 back here, 1947 out of Philly as well. Handful number 10, and I normally only show the finds from the 40s and earlier, but check out this 1957 out of Denver. Doesn't seem to have any steps, but that is pretty sweet. That's probably going to be a book upgrader. Nice. Handful number 16, and we're going to have a buffalo nickel. Does not have a mint mark. It's got a big scratch across it. And I can see a date. I'll put it up there. 1919 out of Philly. I don't need it for my book, but that's still pretty sweet. Handful number 19. And we've got our first from 1946 out of Philly. Kind of toasty. Handful 23. And we've got a 1948 out of Denver. Handful number 35. And we've got a 1941 out of Denver. Handful 38, and we're going to have another buffalo nickel right there. Oh, it does not have a date, or does it? I can kind of see something there. Has a Denver mint mark. It's probably going to be hard to see on camera, but it looks like there's a 0 at the end. I'll put a picture up there for you, which means it's going to be a 1920 out of Denver. They did not make any buffalo nickels out of Denver in 1930, and that's the only year it can be. So I do need this one for my album. That is pretty sweet. Handful 39, and we've got our third nickel from 1948, and this one's out of Philly. And that's it for the first half of the hunt. Not a ton of finds, but we got a couple good ones here. I did get one really nice 1960 out of Philly. You can see just a few steps there. I'll check that against my book, and I already showed you this 1957. Even if it's not a book upgrader, I do roll those up. We got three nickels out of the 50s, the lowest minted one being this 1953 out of Denver. 7 nickels from the 40s, the lowest minted one being this 1948 out of Denver. We got a total of 8 2024s out of Philly. These are still selling for about 10 bucks a roll on eBay. And we had 2 buffalo nickels. This is the one that I think is a 1920 out of Denver. And of course, there's the Denver mint mark. And then the 1919 out of Philly. All right, let me get the second half of the hunt started, and I'll come back when I've got something good. Handful number 2, and our first find from the 40s is going to be a 1940 out of Philly. Handful number 3, and we've got a 1948 out of Denver. Handful number 9, and we're going to have a semi-key date. Too bad it's got a scratch on it there. I've already looked at it. 1949 out of San Francisco. That's a shame. That's probably a scratch from a staple and a flip. Dang it, Jim. Same handful, and we've got a 1941 out of Philly. Handful number 11, and we've got another 1940, also out of Philly. Handful 14, and we've got another 1949. This one's out of Philly. Handful 27, and we've got another 1940. This one's not in bad shape. 1940 out of Philly. Handful 31, And we've got our second 1948 out of Philly. Handful 34, and we're going to have another semi-key date. 1950 out of Philly. That is sweet. And that's it for the hunt. Not a lot of finds in the second half of the bag. Let me give you a quick recap. I did get one pretty nice 1963 out of Philly. I'll check that against my album. Just 4 from the 50s. The lowest minted one was a 1956 out of Denver. 7 from the 40s. And again, the lowest minted one besides the semi-key date, 1948 out of Denver. Found a total of 12 2024s, all out of Philly. And then we got the 2 semi-key dates here, 1950 out of Philly and a 1949 out of San Francisco with a scratch. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that like button and subscribe.